To Tasmania now, where dairy farmers say they're being forced off the land by a large multinational company that has almost halved the price they get for their milk. The farmers say they're running their business at a loss and that the consolidation and deregulation of the dairy industry means there is no one else to buy their milk. They're warning farmers on the mainland that they can expect similar treatment and are so despondent they believe a boycott of one of the country's leading milk brands is the only answer. Connor Duffy reports.
I mean, I enjoy the land, I enjoy the cows, and there's sort of times when you just get these glimpses. You just look over the farm and you think, no, that is good, that's good. That keeps you going.
Despite the challenges of life on the land, the vagaries of the seasons and the never-ending chores, dairy farmer John Wilson loves his work. But earlier this year, the company that buys his milk slashed the price he gets by 40%, cutting the payment for each litre of milk from 49 cents to 29 cents.
So we're dealing with a 30 cents a litre income against 40 cents a litre expenditure.
So you're losing 10 cents a litre on every litre of milk. How many litres of milk will you put out over the year?
So we'll put out about 3 million litres, so that in itself is about $300,000.
The price cut is being endured by dairy farmers throughout Tasmania. The company responsible is National Foods, a wholly owned subsidiary of Japanese brewing giant Kirin. National Foods disputes claims it's abusing market power and says plummeting milk prices around the world mean it has to cut costs.
This is a global issue. You're seeing farmers right across the world who are reacting to the fact that global prices for dairy commodities are seen to have halved in the last couple of years.
Farmers say much of their milk ends up in the supermarket, where prices haven't dropped. National Foods concedes the payment it's offering some Tasmanian dairy farmers will be below the cost of production, but says farmers have had 2 good years to put money aside.
The same farmers that are now saying that 39 cents per litre is their cost of production have been receiving milk prices far in excess of that in the past 2 years. But
John Wilson says he spent the money from the good times expanding his farm, after checking with National Foods that there would be a continued demand for his milk.
We feel that we've been just misled, totally. The problem we've got is that we've invested another $1.5 million into the operation in anticipation of milking more cows, and we're sort of between a rock and a hard place now.
It's dash unfair what's going on. The people of this state deserve a fair go.
The anger at National Foods has resonated throughout the state. At a recent protest, there was a rallying call for Tasmanians to begin boycotting some of the company's products.
And that their brand, which is so dear to them, will be what it really is at the moment. And that is mud.
The milk war has also caught the attention of the Senate Economics Committee, which was in Tasmania on the day of the protest.
Because this is jail material.
The committee heard claims National Foods was trying to force farmers to sign contracts by withholding payments.
Senators, the actions of National Foods are unfair, unreasonable, indeed outrageous. They have treated us disgracefully and are using their market power and financial resources in a most unconscionable manner.
My handholder's not here today. She's totally disillusioned with the whole thing now. You know, we've done a lot of hard work, we've had 2 dry years, we're finally at the point where we think we can make some money, and that's just been pulled out from under us. Want milk in that one?
Farmers have told the 7:30 report the stress of keeping farms functioning and families fed has some families so despondent they fear for their safety.
There's at least 5 dairy farmers at the moment that are on suicide watch. It's got to that point. You get to a point where you can't see any light.
It hasn't been possible to establish numbers, but 3 different welfare organisations have confirmed to the 7:30 report they're aware of dairy farmers being on a suicide watch. Outside the Senate committee, there was bipartisan condemnation of National Foods.
People take the food in the supermarket for granted. They shouldn't continue to do that. If you expect farmers to do it, it's got to be worth their while to get out of bed to do it.
The people who perpetrate that misinformation are needlessly worrying farmers in Tasmania, and that's why we've started an advertising campaign to really just bring the facts to our suppliers.
Tasmanian dairy producers have warned mainland farmers to expect similar treatment when their contracts are up for renegotiation. They say deregulation of the dairy industry and a concentration of buyers mean farmers will be forced to take what they're offered.
National Foods have clearly shown that they want to harvest the wealth of farmers. Every farmer anywhere in Australia that comes out of contract needs to be concerned about what National Foods will do to them.
Those farmers in other states will be treated exactly the same as the farmers in Tasmania. We will be offering fully competitive, market competitive prices for their milk at that point in time.
Back on the farm, John Wilson and his wife Lorna Wilson say they can only keep going for another year before mounting debts will force them off the land.
I think this is quite a brutal blow to us, and we really haven't got a strategy that we can see through and have a positive outcome with. You know, we really are, pinned down. We're over a barrel.
John Wilson has some hope that people power will force National Foods to lift their price, but he's still a worried man.
For us, it's our income, it's our job, it's our superannuation, it's our retirement, and we're basically seeing that eroded, maybe even disappearing.
That report from Connor Duffy in Tasmania.